Hello everyone and welcome to a reading wrap-up. This one is for the July round of Tales from Two Trails. This was created and is hosted by Kim from Expedition Through Pages, and her mom is the co-host, which is Julie from Julie the Mum Reads. Could have said that wrong, but I will have both of their channels linked in the description box. This is really fun. We're split into two teams. It was completely random, and I was started on to Team Elephants, and Kim is the captain of my team. The other team is Team Pirates, and Julie is the captain of that team. So, for the July's round, we had 2 challenges, 3 reads, and 1 activity. And I have completed, and I actually did a little square at the bottom of my page saying log points, because I forgot to the last round. Forgot to log it. Thought I did not. And I actually got a check mark in there. So I've already logged the points for this. So let's go through the challenges first. Challenge number 1 was to take a picture of a cozy reading night. This one was, I just was on my recliner. I just did it from my POV, and Georgie, who is our pug, was sitting right next to me. I just kind of put the book to the side and just took the picture, and that's of Georgie with the book. So that's what I'm using for cozy reading night. Challenge number 2 is to take a picture of a read outside. I went out back to the patio out back, put the book so it was standing face, bottom to top. Anyway, on the patio table, and then took a picture that way. So that one is done. The other prompt is to state one book that you would like to take with you to a deserted island to read over and over and over. It doesn't mean that's the only book you're going to take, is the way that Kim explained it, but what's one book that absolutely has to go that you want to read over and over? I'm going to say any book in the House Witch series by Delamock. Probably particularly the first one, and that is the one that I did put through on my submission for that. So those are the non-reading prompts. Now for the reading prompts, we have the group read. Any one of these could be, so Kim, they roll for the prompts and then they'll decide which one's going to be the group read that they can kind of work with to pick a group read. So it worked out to read a book from an author from some sort of island. And this one turned out to be the group read. And the selection was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. I gave this one 3 stars, read this one on my Kindle. My edition was 67 pages. And I was a little disappointed in it, I will say. I mean, it was fine for the short story that it was. I've either seen bits and pieces or I have seen a whole movie adaptation of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And this is the one where it's like, we didn't see him transform. Of course, creative licensing and theatrical elements, they're going to add stuff like that in the movies. There's just some things I would have liked to have seen more of from the perspective of Dr. Jekyll and from the perspective of Mr. Hyde. Did not get that in the book, so I found it just to be a little bit lacking. I mean, it was still fine. I still, for the most part, enjoyed it, but I just wanted more from it. So, and this is definitely one. I don't see this being a full-length novel, but I do think it could have benefited by, instead of like 67 pages, it could have been 120 pages, just to add more POVs, again, from the main protagonist. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde are the main subject of this book. So, yeah, it was fine. And the next reading prompt for Team Elephants was to read a book with an opposing viewpoint to you. For this one, I went with Caution Tape, co-authored by Molly Doyle and J.D. Midnight. So this one, it is a romance book, and the male and the female decide to ultimately give in to the desires to hurt people and kill people. So it turns out to be okay to kill people, take advantage of people, and that is a definite opposing viewpoint. Not okay to kill people. Serial killers are not okay. Don't take advantage of people. Don't, all that stuff. But this was really fun. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I gave this one 4 stars. It was 267 pages, and I really look forward to reading more from J.D. Midnight and Molly Doyle. it was very dark. There is a lot of blood, and I will say blood is one thing that gets the people sexually excited. So murder is a sexual motivator for our characters as they're trying to figure out more about themselves, and torture and is another big exciter for them. So yeah, definite opposing viewpoints. Not okay to kill people. I mean, obviously if it's in self-defense, either you die or the person attacking you. I don't like it, but that's understandable. Never okay to take advantage of people. And I forgot where my other train I just kind of feel like I hit a wall. The train in my brain derailed. I can't remember what I was going to say, but yeah, definite opposing viewpoints, and I'm going to leave it at that. The last reading prompt for Team Elephants was to read a nonfiction. For this one, I did a workbook. There was still quite a bit of reading in this one, and it was I Am Autistic, a workbook by Chanelle Moriah, written and illustrated by. This one I ended up, I think for what it was good. 4 stars, 133 pages. I do recommend this if you want to know a little bit more about someone that's autistic, or if you are recently diagnosed. I think this is a great way to learn a bit more about it. There were some things in here that I underlined that I was like, oh yeah, this is totally me. And I read a lot of this from my mom. I didn't do a lot of like the journaling and stuff. I just didn't feel the need to, because things that I would comment on was only like 1 sentence. Here's one thing about people that are autistic struggling with indecisiveness because of the amount of choices. For example, one thing I've always hated, and it is kind of talked about in this book, is one thing that I have always hated is being asked, what do you want for dinner? I don't know. I feel like if that gets asked of me, I just kind of shut down. I think it's one thing to say, if you to narrow it down and say, okay, I'm thinking about 2 or 3 things. These are the choices I've come up with. What one sounds better to you? That's a better option. I still don't like it because I'm afraid I'm going to choose the wrong one, but to just leave it wide open to what are you in the mood for? What are you wanting for dinner? Are you kidding me? Do I want a hamburger? Do I want salad? Do I want soup? Do I want a sandwich? Do I want tacos? Do I want pasta? Do I want, do we want to go out? Do we want to eat in? Do we want to do a fast food, or do we want to do something that's more like a sit-down restaurant? Too many options, overwhelming, major indecisiveness with that. And that is talked about in this. And that's just one of the things. There is one thing in this that I remember doing as a child, and my mom has talked about this a lot. And there are 2 things that people that are autistic, not obviously everyone that's autistic does things differently, but 2 of the things that are talked about in this that I did as a child is it talks about people liking to be, that are autistic. There's something about hanging upside down or being in weird positions like that. I used to do what's called a bat hang, where I would, like sitting on a sofa or a couch, I would have my feet going up to where the head of it is, and then my head hanging off to where like your knees would be on it. And so I used to always call that the bat hang. Loved it. But the other thing is when I would get, and it talks about how people that are overwhelmed, that are on the spectrum, sometimes they like to be in dark, confined, small spaces because it's a comfort thing. And that was totally me. I was always excited when my grandma and grandpa would come and visit from Colorado when I was little. And I'd be so excited throughout the day. And then as soon as I saw their car pulled up, I would be so overwhelmed with excitement, but also fear that I did something to disappoint them. I always hid under the kitchen table. And they knew I was there, but I always hid under the kitchen table. And there was one point at some point when I was even younger than that, it was like a church primary Sunday school thing for kids. I do remember being overwhelmed and hiding under the table during that until my grandparents came and got me. And this was with my grandparents that used to live in New Mexico. So I have always liked to hide under the table. Now I'm a big girl now. I don't fit so well under tables. And now that I'm 40, it's too physically difficult. 1, I'm too big. And 2, it's with arthritis and everything, it's just hard to do that. But I've always liked that. And I do, when I start to get overwhelmed, I do want to be in a dark room. So I'll go into my room and just shut the light off. And that's pretty much the confined space. But yeah, so anyway, so there's some things that I really liked about this one. So I do recommend this one. And I think for it being a workbook, it was a great balance. I would have liked, me personally, I like to fill stuff out. So a bunch of blank journaling of just writing down your thoughts and feelings, that's not for me. That's what took it down the 1 star. I think if it was more kind of a guided journaling of like, how does this situation make you feel? Have you ever done this? And if so, why? Or if not, why? Those types of things would have been better for me personally, but that's just a personal preference. So if you like very open-ended like boxes that you can write whatever thoughts you're feeling, thoughts and feelings for what to go along with what you're reading, then this is definitely way up your alley. But I do highly recommend this. I think a lot of people would really enjoy this. Whether you are autistic, it is I Am Autistic, but whether you personally are autistic or you just want to learn a little bit more about those that are on the spectrum, definitely check this one out. I think this is a great thing. And there is a chapter in here about how there's been a study about a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people that are autistic, and their thoughts on gender, and a lot of them identifying as, I think non-binary is what it is, and them not feeling like a woman or a man or really anything. So yeah, there was a lot of good points in this. 133 pages. So yeah. So those are the books that I have read. So that is 476 pages. I do not remember of what day I completed this. So just so divided by the 3 books, that's 158.67 pages per book. Out of the 3 books, 1 got a 3-star and the other 2 got 4 stars. That is 9. I did that wrong. Hang on. That is 11 stars. All of a sudden I was thinking 9. That's not 9. It's 8. Okay, I see. And then I was counting the tally and not the actual what it meant. 3 stars plus 2 4 stars, so that's 8, 9, 10, 11 stars. Divided by the 3 books, that is a 3.67 average. So not too bad. Let me know, have you read any of these books? Are you participating in the July's round of Tales from Two Trails? Have you completed it or not? And which team are you on? Definitely let me know. If you are on Team Pirates, leave me a little emoji for the pirates so I know, or an elephant if you're on my team. Yeah, go Team Elephants. Let's kick butt this round and win this game. It is really anyone's game. We are so close, not exactly neck and neck, but it's all with the luck of the roll of the dice. So we'll see how it goes this next round and see if anyone completes the board. So yeah, let me know, are you participating? And again, I will have Julie's channel and Kim's channel both listed in the description box. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.